What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out today. Really do appreciate it. We've got a couple of things that we're gonna talk about today. What are we gonna talk about? We got Star Wars stuff we're gonna talk about. I am going to talk about my apparently I got into some drama about one battle after another, so I will talk about that and address some of the haters, and then I will also give you guys the 28 years later review as well. So we'll talk about that, a couple other things, and I know I'm not gonna promise it, but I'm gonna try. I think we're gonna be out of here sooner than later. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna make no other promises, but I think we're gonna be out here sooner than later. I'm gonna get you guys back out of here so you can enjoy your weekend. But first, let's give some shout outs. Gothic Chick, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much. D Ridley, good to see. Oh no, that's Diane. Good to see you, Diane. Thank you so much for being here. My man King Chad Reese is here. What is up, Shar? Appreciate you coming through. Come on through, Ms. Harper. Oh yes, no work today. Doesn't look like you got work today. Appreciate you coming through. Jay Brown, what is going on? John, how you doing? Mo, appreciate you coming through. Treese, hello. 60 plus, how you doing? Al, how you doing? Appreciate you. My man Mike is here. Appreciate you. Nelson V is here. What is up? Let's see what's going on. Big Art, how you doing? Kiki, how are you? Hey, we got some Game of Thrones stuff coming up, so we're gonna talk real soon. Amanda, what is up? How are you? Pixie Treats, I appreciate you coming through. Tyra, hello. RK, how are you? Callow, appreciate you coming through. Regina, what is up? My man Raymond is back. Thank you so much. Soto, hello from across the pond. My man Stamina MC, D Nice, how are you? What's going on, Lou? Just Z, come on, just being Z. Appreciate you always. My man Terrence is here. Hey, shout out to you, Terrence, man. My fault, man. I missed it last time, but I that just reminded me. I got to give some props because my man Terrence had hooked it up last week. Thank you so much, sir, for the $10 Cash App. And also, you said for the Phi Beta Sigmas Founders Day. Shout out to y'all. My wife and shout out to the AKAs. They had their Founders Day just the other day. So shout out to them. And shout out to Demetrius as well for the $10 Cash App last week. Thank you so much. I apologize for missing that last time. Who else we got? Ira, hello. Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. Thank you so much. Ace Boogie, Chill Spot. And yeah, shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Let's see. What do we have? We had a couple comments we can get to. Anthony, what's up? Just saw the live last week. I remember sometime saying last year that Blade was going to get axed. You didn't believe me because you were being optimistic. Don't want to say I told you so. Well, here's the thing. Like, that wasn't like a, and it's not to put you down, but like, you were not the only one, right? Like, a lot of people, the moment they see one red flag, they were like, up, it's over. Like, people have been saying Blade was going to get canceled for over a year now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and keep in mind, by the way, just, for sake of clarity, it's only been a rumor. Now, I will say that I've usually tried to wait for more established rumors or established sources to confirm whether or not things are canceled. And I do think that, yeah, now, since Snyder, Jeff Snyder usually, he's pretty connected and his tips usually come in to be proven, legit. Yeah, now I can kind of sort of be like, all right, I can start to believe that is the case. We are getting a whole lot closer to Doomsday, Secret Wars, where it's kind of like, listen, if y'all not doing a Blade by now, I don't know, like it's they were supposed to shoot, what was it, like in November of last year? Like that's when it was supposed to shoot or something, and they didn't even do that. So yeah, now there are certain signs at this point where it's kind of like, okay, I think we'll pass on that. Anthony, again, I also remember Nelson saying he was going to watch Blade before Ali came out. Looks like he knew it also would get axed. Ooh, man. Nelson, where you at, man? Can we get an update? Where, Nelson, you've had some homework for almost 2 years now. Can we get an update? Can we please get an update? Just real quick, real quick. Oh, thank you so much for the correction on that. Listen, I know my wife's an AKA. I don't keep up with all the frats and sorority stuff. I'm just, so I don't want to embarrass nobody. Thank you for the correction. Shout out to the Phi Beta Sigmas. Shout out to the Zetas. Shout out to all of y'all. So my bad. I'm sorry if I got any dates mixed up. I know those things are important. I don't want to disrespect nobody. Don't want to disrespect nobody. Let's see. Man, Mike, thank you so much. Just want to know if you've seen F1 yet, because I've seen it 3 times since you said you was gonna watch it. So I'm not gonna lie. I started it and I never finished it. I'm not gonna lie. I started it and I haven't finished it. That's guilty as charged. So far, it's solid. So far. So, man, listen, this is the life. This is the life of a critic. You start watching one thing, then all of a sudden you got something else, and then all of a sudden you got a schedule, but then all of a sudden an interview pop up out of nowhere, and you got to commit to this, and then you got. If y'all only knew what my watch list looks like, it's so chaotic because it's got stuff from like 10 years ago with things that haven't even come out yet. So it's really a question of like, all right, do I watch this thing that's about to come out in 2 weeks, or do I go back and watch that old thing and watch Andor? Like, yes, like I'm so not yet, sir, not yet. But thank you so much. I appreciate. Listen, it's stuff like that that keeps me on my toes and make sure that I go back, because I forget. Now I don't be like Nelson forget, but because I actually go back and watch it. But I appreciate the reminders. Oh, here we go. Speaking of which, Nelson, been too busy to watch Blade, but it's on my list. Nelson, here you go. Here you go. How long your list? I need to know. Nelson, how long is this list? I just need to know what that is, because if we were to compare lists, I don't believe those lists are going to be the same length. Okay, wait. Have to watch Daredevil as well, Nelson. We know you do. And the Raid. Don't forget about the Raid now. Okay, you still got the Raid on your list too. Boy. You know what? We're not gonna pick on Nelson. We're not gonna do that. It's all love though. So let's get into some of these topics here. I'm gonna do my best, to not do a Baptist preacher impression and keep y'all here too long. I'm gonna do my best. So first off, let's start off with a couple of quick updates on a couple of random topics here. In case you were wondering, oh no, actually, let's go back. I know this isn't really movie related, but I'm sure some of y'all actually have this. So FYI, Spotify is about to raise them prices on y'all in February. So if you subscribe to this stuff, sorry, but it's going up $1 or $2 depending on your plans. Check that out. Just hope that y'all are I want to keep y'all aware of that, so that way you can keep up and figure out whether you want to keep that or not. I personally don't subscribe to Spotify, but I figure somebody else might care. What else we got? Andale. We got a Speedy Gonzalez animated movie is in the works at Warner Brothers. Jorge Gutierrez, who did the Book of Life, is set to direct. My only question is why? Why do we need a Speedy Gonzalez animated movie? I mean, I like Speedy when I was a kid. You know, he was funny. It was great. I'm just saying, like, who are you making this for? Just just I just don't know where the demand is. That's all. I don't see where the demand is. But I don't know. I don't know. If y'all are interested in the Speedy Gonzalez animated movie, I mean, maybe the good news here is that it's not live action, because y'all know they want to make everything live action nowadays. But I mean, do they even make Looney Tunes cartoons for kids? You know, because I haven't even heard my kids watching Looney Tunes. Now they know who Bugs Bunny is and stuff like that, but I don't even know if there's like a current Looney Tunes. Like, who are you making this for? Yeah. Okay. Hey man, all power to you. Anywho, I kept seeing this in the news. I kept seeing people talk about this. And it was about Zoe Saldana, and she is now officially become the highest grossing actor of all time worldwide, surpassing Scarlett Johansson. And again, my just why? Why is this news? And I'm not trying to shade Zoe at all. But let's be clear about something. ScarJo was at least headlining her movies. You know, Zoe is not, like, at best, she's the co-lead in Avatar. At best. I personally would say it's an ensemble. But I'm just saying, like, does it really count if it's not your movie? If you are not the actual lead of the movie, is this something that actually should count? Because I'm sorry, like, I you know, if you just so happen to be in some movies and they just so happen to make some money, does that really count? Like, were people saying, I'm going to Avatar for Zoe? Again, I'm not trying to shade her. I'm just saying, like, why do we keep propping this up as if it's like a crazy achievement? Like, now, if she was the lead, if she was like doing these solo movies, and every time she put out, she was top of the billing, and she was fine. I'm just saying, I don't see it. I don't see the point. Man. Nelson with the facts. Zaldana and Mackie hardly are leads in movies. I'm just saying, like, why are we putting this up there? Listen, I'm happy for her individually. Get that money, get that paper, but I just don't see why people were like making this a big deal. Like, people were like, yeah, go. And I'm like, for what? Like, she didn't, it wasn't her movie. Like, I don't. All right, let me get off of it, because then people gonna act like I hate Zoe Saldana. I don't. I really don't. She shouldn't have done that Nina Simone thing, though. We still remember. We still remember. All right, let's go on. Godzilla -1, which was fantastic. The sequel will release November 6th, 2020. Oh, 2026. I thought that said 2027. Wait a minute, we getting it that fast? Oh, okay. And it's titled Godzilla -0. Listen, I'm here for this. I am here for this. I absolutely love the Godzilla -1. So I am absolutely here for Godzilla -0. And we getting it this year, right before Dune, right before Avengers Doomsday. Tell me my 2026 is gonna be lit. Come on. I'm with this. I am with this, man. That is making me happy right there. Anyway, we got some first looks for y'all to check out. We do have a bunch of TV series and stuff coming out. So first up, we have Lara Croft. If y'all recall, we were having that whole conversation of who was going to play Lara Croft, and the winner, don't know why, but it ended up becoming Sophie Turner, aka Sansa from Game of Thrones. And bam, there is your first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider series. This is the upcoming series. It will be on Prime Video. Y'all let me know. How do you feel? I mean, listen, she got the shades. She got the, I'm assuming, braided ponytail. Ladies, what's this called? What's that thing called? What with the two little drapes, the little rat tails in the front? I don't know the official term. I don't know what is that called? Is that a long bang? Somebody help me out. Usually I ask my wife these things. She's not here right now. So she got that. It's this thing right here. She got those things from Lara Croft. So, you know, the real question is this show going to be actually good? Is it going to be good? I'm not going to lie. Listen, Sophie's also kind of sort of had some issues with being a draw. I don't want to say box office, but just being a draw. This could be, are they called tendrils? Is that hold on. Are they officially called tendrils? I would hate it if that is the actual. Please don't let that be the real name. That sounds disgusting. Please tell me y'all ladies don't go around saying like, can I get to the tendrils in my head? Please tell me that's not it. But it is. Oh my God. Okay. Ew. That sounds so nasty. Okay. Y'all they really call tendrils? Ew. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Let me get back focused. Listen, I just need to know, is this Tomb Raider series going to actually be good? Now, Netflix has an animated Tomb Raider series that's actually pretty decent. I watched it last year, I think, when it came out. I think they just dropped season 2 this year. It's decent. I like it. So I do believe that we are in an age where if you are in a pretty good franchise with a notable character, this might actually help define her, right? Obviously, Sansa Stark, Queen of the North and all of that good stuff, that defined her. And she was able to ride that. Her other movies and roles, not so much. This might actually help her out. So maybe if the writing and directing is very good, maybe this could be her next big thing, and I'm always going to root for people to be successful in these things. So let's see what happens with that. We got another first look, and it is with my man, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, my number one pick for Black Panther, aka T'Challa. But, my man decided he wanted to go be Wonder Man instead. Don't know why, but it is what it is. Yeah, we got our first look now of him in what looks like the official Wonder Man suit. Who knows if this is the actual suit? It does look like the comic accurate suit. So the question though is, are they going to keep this? Is he going to upgrade? Usually they do costume switches and stuff in these series, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But look, so far, looks fine to me. Suit looks accurate, looks comic based. I have not gotten a chance to preview Wonder Man yet, so I will hopefully get a chance to check it out, and then we can see if that's going to be worth covering or not. That'll be a big test. I'm hoping so, because Disney show did seem to be a little scared to put this out there. I don't know about y'all, but it felt like there wasn't a strong push with the marketing team, so we'll see what happens with that. And hopefully they gave us a good product. Now, this first look, I've been looking forward to this for a minute, and we've talked about this before. There is a also coming to Prime Video. Prime Video is doing a lot. Amazon out here working, but we do know that there's going to be a God of War. There's going to be a God of War TV series, and the biggest question was, who you gonna get to play Kratos, because that's going to be a defining role. And one of the things that I was always under the impression of was that I always thought that you go for the unknown. I think that that would work. If you go with a celebrity, Jason Momoa could work, maybe. But it looks like it doesn't matter what I think, because we went and we actually have our new lead for Kratos, and it is none other than Ryan Hurst. And some of you might recognize him in a couple of other things. I didn't watch the series, but I heard he was the best friend in Sons of Anarchy. I also heard that, and he played Thor in the God of War games. So it's kind of, listen, from what I see, the beard game is already on point. Okay, so makeup department, you ain't got a lot of work to do. So, he played Opie. Okay, thank you, Opie. I didn't watch Sons of Anarchy, but it looks like he's already in shape. It looks like he already understands the assignment. If he's the one that played Thor, which I believe he did in the game, I like Thor. Thor in the game was fantastic. And I don't think it's that much of a transition from playing Thor into playing Kratos. So I'm sure that other people had other picks, but I'm okay with this. Right? I think that this can work. I think that now I do have to go back and actually kind of look at some of his other performances, but Sons of Anarchy, I've never heard anything bad about it. I'm just going off of what I've seen him do in the game. I think this works from the looks, from what I've seen in the game. I'm sold. So I think that, Amazon, I think that they know what they're doing. I have confidence in the fact that they will put some money behind this. My only trepidation, my only apprehension is the fact that you do have they're starting the story with the Norse mythology. Now I get it, that's a little bit more accessible. You have a war-torn, tired Kratos, you know what I'm saying? A Kratos that just want to be left alone, and he's dealing with his boy, and all that. Now, I get that. That makes an interesting story, but I still would love if they would have just started from the beginning. If you would just started off with Kratos, that was like, he was with that on-site beef. Just Kratos, who, if he saw a Greek god, it was on. Like, I wish y'all would have started with that. So that way we could have grown with the character. Now, I know some people, video gamers, we know the story. I know that. We're spoiled. I'm just saying, I feel like flashbacks to the Greek stuff is not enough. Amazon, if you're trying to milk this, if you want all the monies, you got to go and do a whole season or 2 or 3 of this man's entire crusade of making sure that Zeus catches the fade. Okay, like that. So much drama. But either way, Ryan Hurst is your new Kratos. I'm with it. I like it. You guys feel free to let me know how you feel. What else? We got a couple other things in the updates. Remember the time they said that the Conjuring series was over? Psych! So a Conjuring prequel movie is currently in the works. It is going to be called The Conjuring First Communion, and it will release on September 10th, 2027 in theaters. Boy, they just cannot let this go. Will not let this go. Like, y'all already know my position on this. I love the first 2 Conjurings, especially the ones directed by James Wan. Hold on, my bad. I was so rude. I didn't put y'all up here. I love those, those first 2 movies. Everything else has been going downhill. The last one was okay. Could have been better. That ending was not that great in my opinion. But yeah, they woo, man, talk about a cash grab. Like that's all they want to do with this. Like, yo, Conjuring till the wheels fall off, you know. But all right, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Ooh, a little Black Panther, little Avengers. The Russo brothers, after them Doomsday teasers, they said here about the teasers, what you've been watching for the last 4 weeks, those are not teasers. They're not even trailers. They are stories. They are clues. Pay attention. No. No thanks. I shalt not. I'm not gonna play these games with y'all no more. No. Listen, I fell for it with the first Captain America one, right? Y'all already showed my little theories. I'm like, man, that's actually Captain Hydra. You know, I already talked about how Steve Rogers really just gonna come in here and be that racial layup, you know, for Sam Wilson. Outside of that, I'm not about to sit here and dissect all this stuff. We're not gonna play these games with y'all. Okay, you've already lost my trust when it comes to teasers, trailers, etc. What I am gonna do, I'm gonna wait for that full trailer to drop. That's gonna be the only other trailer I ever watch. I know y'all know my rule. Do not watch more than the first trailer of anything unless it has not convinced you to watch it. If you know you're gonna watch it, don't bother watching no more trailers. And once we get to that first trailer, I will continue and proceed to not trust anything. Why? Because the Russo brothers have lied to us before, and I don't put it past them to lie to us again. Okay? So anyway, I'm not sitting here getting no hopes up. I'm not about to, and I hope for y'all's sake, y'all don't go run into certain YouTube channels that shall remain nameless here that will gas y'all up, hype y'all up, give y'all some theories that won't even happen, that will sound better than the actual movie. I hope y'all don't set yourselves up for failure. Okay, now I try to keep y'all level. I try to keep let's stay here with the base on the ground level, so that way all we can do is go up. I want us to go up. I don't want us to be up here and come crashing down and feeling bad. But y'all that's y'all choice. That's y'all choice if that's what y'all want to do. But yeah, so Cat coming back, they're saying that's a story. You know, not what if I had to throw something out there. If I had to throw one little thing out there, I could potentially see these individual stories simply being multiverse stories, you know, or different things that collide together at the end, right? So maybe I've heard people talk about this was a case of Cap when he moved the stone, or he put the stone back and it created a situation, whatever, you know. Thor, actually, I have no idea what Thor, like, whatever. He's praying to his daddy. Okay, fine. I already told y'all with the X-Men, I think that Cyclops finna die. He's about to die. That's all. He's about to die. Because the X-Men, y'all already know. First of all, you had Professor X and Magneto playing games. They literally playing games while Cyclops out there fighting for his effing life. All the X-Men clearly are dead. Because why is Cyclops out there by himself? They all finna die. Okay? They all finna die. And Scott, anytime he got to take off his visors and go full blast, that's because that's his last Kamehameha. He finna die. Okay? Scott is gonna die. But guess what? It's the multiverse. So it doesn't matter. You'll get some other Scotts. You'll get some other Cyclopses. Listen, I will not be surprised If by the end of Doomsday, we get something where you get 3 different versions of the same characters and they all get washed by Dr. Doom. You're going to get the 1999 all black Cyclops. You're going to get the blue and yellow Cyclops. You're going to get a new Cyclops. And they all finna get stomped. Every single one. But it doesn't matter. It's time travel. It's the multiverse. Guess what? We can remix, do whatever we want, and the good guys going to win eventually. That's all. So I'm not going to play these games with these Russo brothers sitting here talking about, it's a story, it's clues, pay attention. Nah, I'm going to watch a movie. Just give me the movie. Just give me the movie. That's all I need at this point, okay? We done went through all y'all done lost Kang. Y'all done threw away Blade. Just give me the movie. I'm not here to play y'all games no more. I refuse, okay? I respectfully refuse, but I will be there day one. I will be there to watch it. Anywho, little Black Panther news. Nothing too crazy. Damson Idris, when asked about rumors of him taking over the role of Black Panther, what did he say? I'm thankful to the fans. Of course, it's rumors, but I love that movie. I love the world. It's a whole lot of nothing. But what I love about this is that it continuously keeps his name in the conversation. It does. And I'm okay with that. I support it. I will be here for it. I will also continue to say it'd be great if he came back as a variant T'Challa. We don't need the grown-up T'Challa Jr. thing. We don't need that. This will be just fine. It's the perfect compromise. A variant comes in. He maintains the history. It doesn't erode anything, Chadwick Boseman's version did at all. Listen, Doom finna kill everybody anyway. It's the perfect time. Just reset. Anyway, I'm with that if he gets that. So we'll have to wait and see how they go about it. So real quick, we also had some Stranger Things updates. So, I was under the impression that they were going to be brilliant and actually fake us out with that last Stranger Things episode and be like, nah, we was playing. It was all Vecna. He messed with everybody's mind and da-da-da. That would have been an epic fake out that would have lived up to the hype of Stranger Things, right? But they didn't. Instead, they gave this big old behind the scenes documentary about like the making of it. And there were a couple things that were revealed. And one of the things that was revealed was that the Duffer Brothers, they say that they went into production on Stranger Things season 5 without having a finished script for the finale. Well, it showed. It absolutely showed. Like, I don't know how things like this continue to happen. How do you go into one of the highest anticipated TV shows, one of the biggest franchises for Netflix, one of the most notable things on your resume, and you come up with your homework not completed? This was it. This is like working all year to get to the Super Bowl. You get to the Super Bowl and you like film study. I mean, hey, let's just wing it. Nah, man, we just gonna wing it. We just gonna play backyard football style, and we just gonna figure it out along the way. We just gonna play it by ear. What? They gave y'all all the monies to do one job. All right. Boy, would have kept that one in my back pocket. I would have never told nobody. Sometimes you just gonna have to stand 10 toes down and just be like, yup, this was our story. This is what we wanted to do. I know people felt differently, but we love it. But fine. How you gonna sit here and say, like, hey man, we showed up and we just winged that sucker? We didn't have no plan. Yikes. Oh, and think about this, because I think we talked about this too. One of the biggest, most notable things was like, where the hell were the Demogorgons? Where were the Demogorgon bats and all that stuff? Where were all those things? Apparently, we were not alone. Because one writer in Stranger Things season 5 writer's room said that they need to include Demogorgons and Demobats in the abyss. They said it's crazy if there's nothing there, I think. Like, what? So somebody actually brought it up, and the Duffer Brothers said, nah, we don't need that. According to our non-plan, why would we do that? Just no. It's like I'm sitting here thinking in this board, somebody is sitting here like, excuse me, sir, shouldn't we have like the actual creatures that we've been teasing in the very first episode and that we've been showcasing and elevating throughout the last 5 seasons? Shouldn't they actually be there? And the Duffer Brothers was like, Johnson, get out of here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you giving good ideas? Are you using logic? Get out of here. That's not what we do here. We came in here with no script, with no plan, and we're going to leave here just like that. That way. Come on, man. What are y'all doing? This is, and y'all put that in the documentary. Y'all need to stop telling on yourself. Sometimes it's TMI. Sometimes it's just straight up TMI. Like y'all, whoever at Netflix, y'all need to just be like, hey, cut that out. Cut that out. And whoever that writer is, give them a raise. Because clearly they knew what they was doing. But okay, we just gonna move on. Anywho, y'all let me know what y'all thought about all them topics in the comments down below. Anthony, what you got? Thank you so much. I hate that we're gonna skip the vengeful Kratos first from the older games, seeing how he went from that to more wise reserved version. Yeah, I agree. Now, I understand it can still work. You can show, and we've seen this before. We've seen, the troubled hero who's retired and he's just trying to, lead a calm life. It's basically John Wick, right? Think about John Wick. When we got introduced to John Wick, we didn't see all the lead up, but we heard all the legends, and that kind of added to his mystique. Now, I agree. I'm with you. I would prefer if we saw the level of chaos and anger and straight frustration. Listen, I told y'all this before. God of War does not need to be complicated at all. Okay. You can give me 8 episodes of Kratos getting mad, finding a hidden weapon, a magic weapon, and going to town on the next Greek god, demigod on the list for the day. That could be every episode. Is just one fight scene after the other, and I will be happy. I would be so happy. That's what the games were. The games weren't deep. It was just a man on a quest, literally going from hell to back, to do what he had to do to get his revenge. Very simple. Very, very simple. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. DJ, thank you so much. That Cyclops image of him going ham with his eye beams is the best he ever looked in live action. Sad to say that that's actually true. It's really sad to say. And you're right. And I'm glad that you made that distinction. That's the best he's looked in live action. Shout out to X-Men 97. Because X-Men 97 did that man justice. But live action, yeah, that is actually the best. Now, hopefully, they got something else for us somewhere down the line, with him in there. But yeah, I have to agree. To date, that absolutely is the best that we've seen so far. Let's see. John, thank you so much, man, for the support. About Doomsday, he who remains told Loki he knows everything, but why didn't he know about Doctor Doom? Plus, Loki holds the timeline. He can change the timeline, make Doctor Doom crazy. So that is going to be the burden of Doomsday, and it's going to be the burden of Secret Wars. They will have to figure and explain all that out. I am nervous about that, mainly because, again, whenever you deal with time travel is messy. It's incredibly messy. It's also messy because once you create a certain line of rules and logic for something that's fiction, you have to maintain that. We don't know whether or not Kang knew about Doctor Doom. We don't know that. I would like to believe that Kang, because he's a constant being, forget the Nexus being, he's a constant being. Because he's time traveled so much, at least from the comics, he's at the beginning of time and at the end of time and outside of time. So no matter what you do, you really can't get rid of Kang. Now, I don't know if they're going to maintain that for the MCU. I kind of wish that they would. I wish that they would bring back Jonathan Majors, even if they don't bring him back for a major role. Just be like, oh, Doom comes in, he kills the Council of Kangs. Okay, fine. But there's still going to be one Kang around somewhere, right? Like, even the X-Men animated series did the same thing. After the X-Men, defeat Apocalypse and they do all that stuff or whatever, there's still a Kang around somewhere. And I would like to believe, and I've said this before, I've put this, I think I put this theory out there, or maybe I said this statement, I don't know. But I'm still under the impression that if you go back and watch the last episode of Loki season 1, Kang won. Kang got what Kang wanted. Kang sat there and said, basically, that he was grooming both Loki and Sylvie to take over for him. But even when Sylvie was going to kill him, what did he say? Reincarnation, baby. Like, Kang knows the outcome, if anything. So I would just assume that if we sit here and allow Doctor Doom to kill all the Kangs or whatever, I don't think that it would. I think that you might run into some sort of plot hole or a contradiction of sorts. Because I think that Kang is going to be like, yeah, I let y'all do all this. Doom is going to take over. Doom is going to do basically my bidding. He thinks he's going to win, but I'm really winning. Like, I would like to see something like that, go through and happen. But we also need to find out in this movie, why is it that Loki can't just be like, oh, there's a Doctor Doom here, let me pluck that out and correct that? Why can't he do that? Maybe Doctor Doom has, some other ability, some other things going on. We don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. But it will be something we have to really figure out at some point. Nelson, you think Marvel borrowed Scott's scene from X-Men 97? No, that scene, I would say, you see stuff like that in the comics. That's a pretty common thing with Cyclops to do that whole, let me look up at the sky and shoot my optic beams. Yeah, X-Men 97 absolutely, showed that in the intro. They showed that in the very intro with him, in that opening scene. But I think it's more so comic based than anything else. DJ, what you got? Season 5, Vecna disappointed. He was Diet Vecna, Zero Sugar Vecna, Splenda Vecna, not the menace I first saw in earlier seasons, and that's so crazy. It's so crazy you say that because he was supposed to be leveled up. This was supposed to be a Vecna that got stronger. The same way L got stronger, he was supposed to get stronger. But, what do they say when you fail to plan, you plan to fail? Sorry. Maybe y'all should have had a script for the finale. Maybe that would have worked. Who knows? Anywho, let's get a quick update on the whole Paramount versus Netflix drama. Yes, this is still going on. And yes, this is going to be an issue where if you have Netflix go through with this purchase, that's going to be a thing. It is going to be a a significant game changer. I've gone over all the reasons why I thought that it could be a problem before. Like I said before, you got shorter release windows. You might have an influx in all the franchise IPs. You might not get as many original new things like Sinners or Weapons, or One Battle After Another. You might not get that many things if Netflix is running everything, especially with Warner Brothers catalog. Now, at the same time, and I've said this as well, I'm not a fan. I don't like a studio, actually, any American company that is so willing to do the bidding of the president of the United States. I don't like that. Let me clarify that too, by the way. I know all these billionaires out there, they gonna sit. First of all, billionaires are gonna look out for billionaires. Let's be clear. They're going to do what they got to do to keep their company afloat, right? So if the laws say this, they're gonna capitulate with the law. If the laws say something else, they're gonna shift. That's already known. So I'm not acting naive to that, right? I'm not gonna act like these people don't go golfing together or nothing like that. What I don't like is the blatant, just obvious bowing of the knee. That I don't think is a good look. Listen, if y'all gonna do what y'all do it through your actions. Do it, have a little plausible deniability. Be like, oh yeah, we're gonna change our direction of entertainment because the ratings are low or the money is low. Okay, maybe there's an agenda, but at least you can give a somewhat plausible excuse. But if you're gonna sit here and be like, oh, Mr. President, and this is according to reporting, oh, Mr. President, if we buy Warner Brothers, we're absolutely going to change CNN because they don't cover you fairly and you don't like the way they do the news. I don't like that. I don't like any studio, especially those that are running our news. I don't care where you get your news, whatever it is. No news should be catering to the government. You see how I'm not talking about left or right? No news should be catering to the government. The press should be free and have the freedom of speech, period. Okay? I'm not playing teams with this. The press should be independent of the government. So I don't like the fact that Paramount, they play footsie with the current administration. I don't like that. It's not okay. Anyway, let's go into what the actual news is with them. So y'all know they already butthurt. They mad that Netflix has made their offer to WB. They're mad that WB has been like, yeah, I know you offered us 100 billion, but we just gonna take this 80 billion from Netflix because we mess with them. We like Netflix more than we like y'all. Sorry. Yeah, y'all remember from the reporting last week, Paramount has tried 8 times and WB has rejected them 8 times. And Paramount still don't get the picture. So what do we have? Paramount has now filed a lawsuit against WB to get them to disclose the greater financial information about the Netflix deal. They said, we're going to sue y'all so we can get all the numbers. They also plan to nominate Paramount-friendly directors to WB's board who they believe would vote against the deal with Netflix. Look at them. If you can't win, let's just try and cheat and steal. I wonder who else uses that policy when I can't get my way, when I've been rejected, when I just can't accept the results of a certain outcome. I'm just going to cheat. I'm just going to get some fake fake board members that just so happen to be loyal to me. So that way, the outcome I want could actually happen. Never mind, let me just make a better deal. Never mind, let me just do better business. Let me find a way to cheat. Man, I wonder who else does that. I don't know. Anyway, we also have Paramount's David Ellison had some things going on. He had a meeting with prominent European political figures in an attempt to derail Netflix's acquisition of Warner Brothers from ever being approved by the EU. Woo! So dirty. That's so dirty. Boy, starting at left guard from Paramount Studios, David Ellison, because this man went all the way to the Europes just to block whatever he could with this acquisition. Boy, that's a different level of dedication. That is a different level of dedication. This man went to the Europeans and said, hey, I need y'all to block this if this happens. I need y'all to do everything and anything you can to make Netflix's life a living hell internationally. Ooh. Boy, do they have a CEO Hater of the Year award? If not, they have to. They have to, because this man is earning every piece of it. So we had that update. We got an update from the lawsuit. So remember, I just told you about Paramount, trying to sue, trying to block that whole deal and everything. We got an update, and basically denied. A judge rejected Paramount Skydance's motion to expedite WB's trial seeking discovery on the Netflix deal. Yep. They was like, hey, we want to see them papers. The judge said, hell no. No, get out my face. Actually, this is what the judge actually said. The judge said that Paramount failed to show it would suffer irreparable harm. That's because as a shareholder, Paramount cannot be harmed directly by WB's purported lack of disclosures, since Paramount is not making any decision on its own tender offer. That was according to the judge. All I heard was Paramount, what WB's doing ain't got nothing to do with you. Mind your own business. How are you going to be affected by somebody else's deal that ain't got nothing to do with you because you already got denied 8 times? Mind your business. Case dismissed. Whap. That's what the judge said. That's what I heard. I'm not a legal analyst. I'm not a lawyer. If we got some lawyers in here, maybe y'all can let me know if I interpreted that incorrectly. But that's the way I read it. I read it as objection, Your Honor. The judge was like, sustained, overruled. I don't know the terminology, but get out my court because you're playing games and you're dumb and you're wrong. Goodbye. Case dismissed. We got some from WB, and they said today's lawsuit by Paramount Skydance was yet another unserious attempt. That's just saying you with your goofy self. He called him goofy. Unserious attempt to distract, and the judge saw right through it. We are pleased a Delaware court agreed with our belief and rejected the notion that this lawsuit needed special treatment and may have other serious flaws. Despite its multiple opportunities, Paramount Skydance continues to propose a transaction that our board unanimously, that means every single one of us, concluded is not superior to the merger agreement with Netflix. Can y'all stop? Like, can y'all just stop? Like, y'all getting multi-rejected. Don't nobody want your money. Y'all tried to block with some fake, board members. You even went to the Europes just to try and get you some support from the other allies. Your court case done flopped on you. Just stop. Just stop. Like, it's not working. It's not working. Anywho, one last thing. Now, this was something that my concern was. I had my concern, which I talked about last time, which was in the past, Netflix co-CEO was talking about how he was going to keep like a 17-day window for movies. And I'm like, that's going to kill the movie theater business. That's going to be a problem if all you have is 2 weeks and 3 days to go see a movie. You barely are going to have your $5 Tuesday discount programs. And that's just, it's going to hurt the theatrical runs. It's going to hurt the theaters. It's going to mess up the movie going experience, in my opinion. And yeah, I already went through the whole thing of why that was going to be a problem in the last live, but that was going to be a problem. But ever since that came out, Ted Sarandos, the co-CEO, has come out and actually clarified. And he said here that they will keep the 45-day theatrical window for Warner Brothers movies if the sale goes through. He says, if we're going to be in the theatrical business, we want to win. I want to win opening weekend. I want to win box office. Okay. Now listen, I'm still of the belief that y'all need to go back to the 90-day window. Now, if the movie sucks, yeah, okay, put that on streaming. We understand. Okay, we're not going to argue with that. But 45-day is at least better than the 17-day. I still would prefer a longer one, but I am happy to hear that he is open to doing at least the 45-day window and keeping things the same. Once again, I mean, the argument could be made. One of the best advertisements for a film that's about to go to streaming is a movie that's playing in the theaters. When you let the movie play in the theaters, you have ads, you have time for people to watch it, you have reviews to come out, you have time for people to talk about it, just build it up. And for the people that just didn't have the time, maybe they can't afford it, that hype after 45 days, that's going to give people enough motivation to actually go watch it on streaming. And for the people that did watch it in theaters, if they really loved it, it gives them the opportunity to relive and rewatch the movie again because they already saw it. They loved it. They might as well watch it again. They probably are not going to go pay for it again, but they'll probably rewatch it. So you have an opportunity to increase your views, subscribers, whatever, by just letting movies stay in the theaters. You could do that. So anyway, that's your update for the whole WB Netflix thing. Y'all let me know. How did you feel about it? What did you think? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Natalie, you recently interviewed for CNN, and yeah, Natalie, if I don't know if you got it or not, if you did, let me know. I need to talk to my girl Abby. I watch that all the time. I love the show. I need Abby Phillip. This is just a quick call. If you ever need a film related guy, I could talk politics now. Okay. I could talk politics now. Okay. But if you need somebody that can talk about the film stuff and TV stuff, I can help with that too. Shout out. So, Natalie, if you get that, if you get the CNN job, let me know. Just let your boy know. Long live $5 Tuesdays. Amen to that. Amen to that indeed. DJ, what you got? This merger worries me. I'm not wanting politics getting involved. They already have me pissed off enough said. Yeah, facts. Facts. I mean, again, Netflix is not my first pick to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount is my last pick to buy Warner Brothers. I'd rather it be Universal. I would love if Apple would get into the mix. Anybody but them. Anybody but them. But here we are. Here we are. Let's see. Regina, the Ellisons could change the game. Trump already asked for Rush Hour 4. Yeah, but change the game to what? You know, like, yeah, the president asked for Rush Hour 4, and look how fast they did that. Look how fast they got that. Even the people at Paramount was like, we doing Rush Hour 4? We are? What? They were shocked. So I don't like that. I don't want my government telling my entertainment studios, news people what to do. I don't want that at all. But once again, here we are. Should we get into some drama? We can get into a little drama. So let's do a little awards talk. So last week we had the Golden Globes, and you know, I have already not been a big fan of the Golden Globes, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. But there was a lot of talk about some of the winners, right? And one of the winners was One Battle After Another. They won for Best Musical Comedy. They won for Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actress, Tiana Taylor. Shout out to Tiana Taylor. Now, I've also heard people complaining about Tiana Taylor, you know, because her role was pretty short or whatever. Like, so she didn't win for Best Lead Actress. Now you could talk about the length of time and all that, but she was the supporting actress and she won for supporting actress. And last time I checked, a lot of the story depended on her role, and she did the role very well. She supported the movie and the characters. Sounds like a good winning bet to me. So I don't have a problem with that. Not to mention, if y'all can give not them, but if other award shows can award Jamie Lee Curtis for hot dog fingers, I will never forgive them for that. You can definitely award Tiana Taylor for what she did in One Battle After Another. Don't talk to me about none of that. If y'all give other people awards for lesser roles, then you absolutely can give her that. Now, best screenplay over Sinners. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Now, best director, I totally get it. Paul Thomas Anderson, I get it. I've always believed it's gonna be a toss-up in all of the awards. I don't care what it is, SAG, director, BAFTA, Oscars. It's gonna be a toss-up between Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler. Now, let me be clear, and I've said this before. When it comes to this award, and I'm saying this because I've heard actual award voters from various committees say this, I hate the idea of giving anybody an award because in the past they've done very good work and they just kept coming up short. I don't care. Okay. I will be the first to say Paul Thomas Anderson has made fantastic work in the past. But guess what? He lost. He lost. That is not an excuse to bypass potentially other current good work just because y'all feel bad that a other good director hasn't gotten nothing. Stop giving out participation trophies. What you're talking about is really a legacy trophy. You're talking about, that's why y'all have the Lifetime Achievement Awards. Isn't that what y'all wanted to give to Denzel? Isn't that what y'all gave to Angela Bassett and Sam Jackson and Tom Cruise? Didn't y'all do that at the Governor's Award where y'all gave them an Oscar or whatever after the fact because y'all know y'all messed up in the past? I hate this idea of we got to give it to this person because we owe them something versus the person who just made the best product this year, this run. You bypass current talent because you want to reward someone in the past. That's stupid and it needs to stop. Anyway, Sinners did win something, and they won 2 awards at the Golden Globes, and that was for Best Original Score and Cinematic Box Office Achievement. Now, let's kind of dissect that a little bit. So you gave the blacks the music award. Of course you did. Of course you did, right? Yes, I'm going for the racial factor, and I will tie this in just a second. Don't you worry. But the Cinematic Box Office Achievement, let's be honest about what that is. The moment they introduced this award, it was always a nonsensical award. Why? Because all it did was award a movie for making a lot of money in the box office. Now, there have been some people that have questioned my critical experience, and that's okay. We'll talk about that shortly as well. But I've been on the record of saying box office achievement by itself is not an indicator of a film's greatness. You have movies that make a lot of money for a lot of different reasons. Y'all went out there and paid to go watch Venom. Ain't nobody sitting here talking about Venom is a fantastic award-winning movie just because it made a lot of money. A lot of people went out to go watch Aquaman. Made $1 billion. Doesn't mean it was a great award-winning movie at all. So the mere fact that you have this Cinematic Box Office Achievement Award, it's really like, all right, let's just kind of put somebody in there and just kind of, hey, thanks for showing up. That's what that award feels like. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for doing your best, slugger. That's what that feels like. You're not talking about the art. You're not talking about the craft. You're not talking about the technique. You're talking about the fact that people liked you. People showed up. That's what that means. And that's why this doesn't feel like an actual award at all. But let's talk about this. In case you did not know, the Golden Globes, it originally was the Hollywood Foreign Press. And I don't know if y'all remember, but the Hollywood Foreign Press was in some controversy before. They had a whole lot of issues because they had diversity issues. They didn't even like blacks back then. They didn't even have real diversity at all. Like, if y'all thought Oscar So White was a problem, Hollywood Foreign Press was even worse. It was even worse. People were boycotting going to the award show. That's how bad it was back then. Let's see how much they've improved. Now, they've improved. they've actually changed. They said, hey, you know what? We are no longer the Hollywood Foreign Press, because the names already had that bad association, right? So they renamed themselves to the Golden Globe Foundation. I just want y'all to look at this. I'm not even going to add more to it. Y'all let me know. Here are the members. These are the people, and they're from all around the world. Okay, so this is not like a US thing. They're from Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, Switzerland. They're from all around the world. Uh-oh. We got one brother, and from the US. Okay. Who else we got? We got some more here. We got another brother. Now, this is Ruben. I actually know Ruben. Shout out to Ruben. He's an Africa member. Shout out to him. He's Dominican. So I'm not going to comment on anything else. I just know he's in AFCA, African American Film Critic Association. So I will count that. Okay, I'm not going to make no Cuban jokes or no Dominican Republic jokes. But I want you to look at the current makeup of the voting body, right? And I just want you to ask yourselves, even though this is a population this is comprised of a bunch of people from around the world, do you really think that a film centered on African American culture would resonate with any of them? Would it? Just again, you see the peoples, okay? I just went through. Does any of this say we would understand and appreciate a film directed and pushed forward with the themes of African American history, culture, perspective? Does anything about this voting body give you that sense? Now, all I'm saying is I had zero expectations with the Golden Globe to get that. I never expected for them, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't bother watching. I didn't expect for them to have any level of understanding or appreciation for Sinners. I just didn't. Matter of fact, do y'all know that they did nominate Sinners for Best Motion Picture Drama, but Sinners didn't win. You know who won? Hamnet. Who the hell watched Hamnet? Hamnet? Like, y'all went out y'all way to just be like, to just let me know y'all didn't appreciate, understand, or maybe even watch this movie. That's what that lets me know. Now, Hamnet had very solid performances, but I've rarely, if ever, heard very many people talk about this was like a good Best Picture leading movie. Should it be nominated? Sure. But as a lead for a movie, I don't know about that. I don't know. So anyway, I got my little rant off about the awards or whatever. Let me segue real quick. I didn't even pull this up. I should pull this up. No, first, before I segue, y'all let me know, what do you think about the Golden Globes and any other awards? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me see. Natalie, I didn't, but blessings in disguise with the buyout. Yes. Let's see what happens. Hopefully you get that. Natalie, again, thank you so much. I love Tiana, but it was a Hallie Monster Ball award down to the pixie cut. The character wasn't written well. E-Man still thinking about her hug. Listen, don't. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not inclined to disagree with you. I have talked about awards in the past and how there seems to be a pattern with what gets awarded and what doesn't. I forgot what it was. Oh, I saw somebody talking about how if Sinners was slightly tweaked, it probably would sweep everything. And that slight tweak would have been, instead of free black people fighting against vampires and the KKK, if Sinners was about black slaves and their white plantation owners were the vampires, this thing would win. And I agree with that assessment. I think that that is 100% accurate, because one thing these voting bodies love when it comes to black Van Lathan, shout out to Van Lathan for that. 100% agree, because one thing they love is rewarding negative black stereotypes. Oh, Denzel, you Malcolm X? Nah, forget that. Or like, nah, we'll give it to I'm sorry, Will Smith. You're playing a struggling black single father. Nah, we'll give it to the black dictator with Forrest Whitaker. Like, oh, Halle Berry, yeah, you did Losing Isaiah and all that. Nah, we don't care about that. Hey, we gonna give it to you for finally being naked on screen. Oh, and Denzel did lose. He lost Malcolm X, positive black figure. Nah, we don't like that. We'll give it to Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman. What? Lupita, oh, you were a slave. You got it. We're not going to give it to you for your performance in Us, where you really played two completely different characters, but we'll give it to you for playing a slave, for sure. Angela Bassett, we're not going to give you nothing for playing a strong black queen, but we're going to give it to them hot dog fingers over there. Like, they like rewarding and ignoring positive stuff with black negative stereotypes. They love that. It's just, listen, it's not a conspiracy. Look it up. They'll give you the little, oh, you get the best writer, oh, you get the best score. You'll get that. But when it comes to best picture, when it comes to best director, when it comes to best actor, you go look at the trends. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm fine. But you go look at the trends and look at the competition and tell me what I'm saying is off. Anyway, thank you so much for that. DJ, Sinners to me was the best movie of the year. Everything else was potato salad with raisins in it. No flavor, not the raisins. Why? Not the raisins. Thank you for that. Shout out to Chadwick. Shout out to brother Chadwick. JN, as far as voting, it's no excuse. Even if the voting block is mostly white, Sinners is the best movie of the year. I heard Hamnet is really good, though. It is good. It is good. But sometimes you're going to have these award contenders, and they're just, it's like, listen, we need some placeholders. Let's just be honest. There's always going to be one, maybe two movies that are clearly in the lead, and the other ones are placeholders because they got to have other nominees. Hamnet, to me, is not a serious contender. Not to me. Maybe it's different, but I just don't see, like, if I'm being honest, and I'll say this for the record, I do believe that One Battle After Another is going to sweep. I think that they're going to win over and over and over again. That doesn't mean that I would vote for them to win. I'm just saying I think that that's how the voters are going to look at it, and they are going to give it to them that way. Oh, thank you so much, DJ. Sinners was my favorite of 2025. Everything else, oh, okay. No flavor. Award shows are racially biased, always has been and will be. Listen, I mean, Oscar So White did not just come about. And I think people forget Oscar Still So White also came about. Remember, it kept going, okay? And they didn't do that much to increase the diversity, but that's a whole nother conversation. JN, thank you so much. The issue with One Battle After Another is the director is married to a black woman, and that's how you write black women. Well, that is an interesting conversation. And it is something that, I think is a fair critique. Not so much about his marriage or whatever, but I do think that the portrayal, especially with Tiana Taylor's character, is an interesting one. The whole hypersexualization of her character, to me, did not come off as believable. And that's the main issue, right? Sean Penn's character, who, by the way, I do believe should win Best Supporting Actor. I think he should run away with that. Sean Penn's character makes sense. Are there white, racist, militarized dudes out there that will, join a white supremacy group and all that? Yes. Yes. That's believable. But a black woman who's a revolutionary, who's hypersexual, all that, like that, it's kind of like, all right, man. Like, what, come on now. Where? Who? Like, point to a historical figure that will go through. I'm trying not to spoil it for people that haven't seen the movie, but now some of the things with her character made sense and they were dramatic. And, I would say everything after her interaction made sense. And I was fine with that. But it was like some of the other stuff in the beginning. I was like, all right, man, like, whatever. Like, if that's your Tarantino type fantasy and you just want to play it out, just say that. Just say that, But again, that's a deeper conversation. I don't even have time for it. I don't. But I will tell you what I do have time for. Let's talk about this one battle controversy. So apparently, yours truly got into some hot water on the Twitters. I was on the Twitters, and boy, oh boy, did I ruffle some feathers. Boy, oh boy, was some people big mad when I had to say what I had to say about one battle after another. Boy, they couldn't take it. They could not take it. Let's start off with the original tweet. The original tweet, and this is I'm not coming after Eric or nobody like that. I'm not doing that. Eric said, another critic, he also is at Fandango, says, I think One Battle After Another and Sinners are generational films and will eventually go on to become classics. We're lucky to have experienced both in the same year. I hope they both win big at the Golden Globes tonight. Okay. Now, when I saw that, I was like, generational? I did not see that with One Battle. Now, if you tell me, hey, for generations to come, I could see Sinners being a movie that you talk to about your kids, you talk about it. Like, I could see that over time, becoming a cult classic in that sense. It's the same way how like Harlem Nights is still talked about. It's the same way how blaxploitation films are still talked about generations later. You could even have Friday still talked about generations later because of what they have, the social impact. So, what did I do? I made my post. What did I say? I said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. One Battle After Another will be an afterthought after this award season, while Sinners will continue to be talked about and referenced for years to come. Sinners runs laps around One Battle in terms of social and cultural impact. Now, I need people to understand. What was I saying here? I said that it was going to be an afterthought after award season. Why? Because after award season, we go through this time after time after time. We always have these award darlings, these award movies that end up winning, and nobody's saying they're not good movies. They are good movies. They win Best Picture or whatever. And don't nobody talk about these movies ever again. Ever again. Hey, quick show of hands. How many of y'all still talk about Andor? Who do I need to wait? Who's talking about Andor? Who's talking about Coda? Y'all talking about Nomadland still? No? What about Green Book? How about Green Book? Y'all talking about Green Book? Good movie. But y'all talking about it? Shape of Water? Nothing? Okay. Spotlight. When was the last time y'all went to the workplace and talked about Spotlight, Birdman, Argo, The Artist, The King's Speech, The Hurt Locker, Slumdog Millionaire? We're not saying these movies were bad. I'm saying ain't nobody thinking about them like that. I didn't say nothing controversial. That's just what it is. That's just what tends to happen. Now, of course, people wanted to, and again, like I said, sinners will be talked about and referenced for years to come, especially when it came to, if we're talking about generations. And I was very specific with what I said. Sinners runs laps around one battle for social and cultural impact. What does that mean? That means I believe that you will have cultures, society talking about sinners in various ways more than one battle. That's what I mean. Now, what does that mean for the average person? How does that look? I'm talking about you're going to see more people using sinners memes on social media. You will see more think pieces about sinners. You will see more people, doing watch parties or doing cosplay, dressing up as Smoke and Stack. You will see more people referencing this in everyday conversation outside of, and I have to be clear about this, outside of movie circles. Because a lot of the people, by the way, that got big mad about this, and y'all can read the comments if you want to, that's fine. The real people that got big mad about this were all the film bros, all the movie savants, all the cinephiles out there, the movie nerds. And by the way, I'm one of y'all. That's why I can call y'all that. I am a movie buff. I am a movie nerd. I am a cinephile. I can call y'all that too. But one thing I don't have is this delusion that because movie people talk about movies, therefore the movie is culturally relevant. No, it's not. No, it's not. We are the exception, not the rule. We do not define culture. We are a niche of a niche of a sub niche. Okay? How many people are in this live right now? 253. That does not mean a huge representation of culture or society. We are a specialized group of people that love movies and TV, and we gonna talk about them all the time. That's a moot point. That's why I don't consider. I literally asked somebody, they was like, oh yeah, so you mean to tell me that we're not gonna talk about There Will Be Blood? And I said, where have you heard that from? Who is talking about There Will Be Blood? Who? Oh, well, my film class. That does not count. Your film class is going to talk about film. Of course. Like, what are you talking about? That's not generational. How many people go to film classes compared to the general public? When I talk about social or cultural impact, okay, let me give a better example. Barbie was had cultural impact. Barbie came on the scene, and what happened? You had people talking about Barbie, posting about Barbie, dressing up as Barbie. You saw more things from the general non-movie going public getting involved with Barbie. That's impact. Dare I even say Harry Potter? Harry Potter has cultural impact. Boy, Harry Potter had a whole lot of people dressing up as wizards, running around with wands. That's cultural, societal impact. That's the difference. One battle ain't doing that. I don't see y'all dressing up as sensei. I don't see y'all doing all the think pieces. I don't see y'all. Now, again, people can talk about it, and I will give credit to this. I will give credit to One Battle for this. One Battle does have political, especially given our certain immigration stuff going on, it does have that level of connection and resonance. Absolutely, 100%. But that does not mean that it's going to be around generationally like that. It just doesn't. And for the other record, I've seen people sit here and tell me, because one thing that you can also notice is people will love to take what you say and create a straw man argument and sit here and be like, oh my gosh, so you're saying that Paul Thomas Anderson is trash? You're saying that Paul Thomas Anderson doesn't make good movies? I'm sitting here like, where did you see any of that? Look, am I crazy? Like, where did I say any? I didn't even name Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, people just be making stuff up just so that they can try and own you on Twitter and act like, oh, well, gotcha. Like, how can this guy be a film critic? He doesn't even understand that Paul Thomas Anderson's movies will live on forever. What? Ask the average person who Paul Thomas Anderson is. If they even know, they might know his movies before they even know who he is. I'm not even saying the man makes bad movies. I like his movies. Not all of them, but I do like him. I respect him. I understand his legacy is there in the game. I'm not coming for that. I'm talking about this specific movie. Once award season is over, if you're not on film Twitter, ain't nobody gonna be talking about this movie like that. They just not. And that's okay. It's still gonna win its awards. It's still going to live on in Paul Thomas Anderson's resume. But y'all got to stop being so butthurt. And by the way, just one last thing, because I know I made a comment and somebody was like, ooh, you got ratioed. As if that means anything. I just want to point out there are 602 comments here, and some of them are mixed, right? Some people agree with what I said, and the vast majority of the comments, they disagree, and that's fine. Y'all know me. I don't care if you disagree. I encourage y'all to think for yourselves, not be sheep, and have your own opinion. It's obviously better when you agree with me, though. But I want to point out to the ratio folks, ratio, there's a whole lot of likes over here. Let's magnify that real quick. I just want, so it's 600 comments mixed, but there's a whole lot of likes on here too. I usually believe that people that like things usually tend to agree with you, even for y'all retweeters. And I responded to some, even y'all. Okay, let's say 2002 comments and retweets that, let's just say they all disagree. There's a whole lot more likes. Okay, a whole lot more likes. I'll sleep just fine. Okay, I will sleep just fine. You got ratioed. You thought you were going to come for Paul Thomas Anderson. Not on our watch, bucko. I don't care about y'all. Like, stop playing. Stop playing. Oh my God. Y'all 12-year-olds are funny. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I made it clear, because I get it. It's a tweet. You're not going to get the full conversation. You're not going to get the full context. I understand. But let's be clear. I don't hate Paul Thomas Anderson. The movie I do think is good. I did like One Battle. I do believe that there is a phenomenon that in the general public, outside of film classes and movie circles and your movie buff friends, people stop talking about certain movies because they're just not that impactful. And I do believe that Sinners is going to carry that weight of cultural significance. Maybe it's just Black culture. Because I have noticed, by the way, the overwhelmingly majority of people that have been trying to press up against me haven't been Black. Now, there have been a couple Blacks here and there, a couple sprinkles, and that's fine. It's okay. But I'm just saying, I'm not surprised if the Black-centered film didn't resonate with you and you don't understand why that movie, Sinners, will have cultural impact, maybe only in the Black community. Maybe it'll have some in the Asian community. I'm not a part of that community, so I don't know. But you never know. I don't know. So now the onus is going to be on y'all, other cultures. Prove me wrong. And I'm fine. Listen, y'all, I don't care if I'm wrong. That's fine. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that y'all going to keep talking about one battle for years to come. I can't wait. I love to see. I want to see y'all make it trend. Please. 1 year after one battle has won Best Picture, y'all. Okay. Well, 5 years later, one battle is still. I cannot wait to see y'all non-talking relevant selves. Prove me wrong. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Y'all know I wanted to clear that air. And yeah. So y'all let me know. What do you think? I mean, come on now. I care about what y'all think. What y'all think? Is one battle after another would you say that it's more culturally impactful to society or culture, or would it be Sinners? Because that's the only thing I'm saying. I didn't say one movie was better than the other. Not like that. Not based off of only cultural impact. Actually, nah. Let me hold on. Let's rewind it. I got to put this on the record. I almost forgot. I've seen people say that cultural and societal impact of a film is not, it doesn't mean anything. If that were true, what is the point of art? Because that argument sounds real stupid if you're talking about art. I've never heard anyone say this piece of art has zero impact on society and culture, so therefore it's great. Film is art. Art is a form of communication from one person to another. So if your art does not impact other people, how else are we supposed to determine whether it has value or not? So yes, for some of y'all that want to be out there and try to diminish Sinners for having, even if it's just Black cultural impact, even if it's just that, it's not the knockout that you think it is. Now, is that the only factor to make a film great? No, it's not. And I don't believe that's true for any film. I've always said that you need a combination. I notice people nitpick this too, by the way. They'll be like, oh, so only box office, huh? Oh, so only cultural impact, huh? No, it's a combination. You will always see me use a combination to determine whether a film is good or not. Do you have cultural, social impact? Great. Did people even bother to come and see you with the box office? Great. Do you have good critical reviews? Great. Do you have great regular audience reviews? Great. Are people still engaging with your film after the fact? Is there rewatchability? Great. I need all of those things to contribute to what we deem a film's value. That to me are, obviously we can nitpick and get into the details, but all those things have to come together to be like, yeah, that's a great movie. All of those things. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think about that whole little one battle drama, in the comments down below. And feel free to go troll anybody on them comments, because it's been a fun time for me. I've had a blast. I'm not gonna lie. Because I don't take first of all, I don't think Twitter people are real people. Let's be honest. Half of them are bots. Half of them are bots anyway. I see that y'all came from Russia and India and y'all just tweeting random stuff. You don't even know what you're talking about. So I don't consider them real people. But anyway, let's move on. What else do we have? Oh, okay. We do have a little bit. We got some Star Wars news. We got some Star Wars updates. Wait. I'm sorry. Before we do the Star Wars, before we go to it, let me grab some of these. Jan, Oscars gave Bestiality Award in Shape of Water. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I forget what the nominees were at that time, but you know, and I mean, like the movie was okay. It was all right, but you know, best picture. I don't remember what the nominees are, but I don't think I had that as my lead. Pixie Sinners. Period. Facts. That's the comment. That's the statement. That's it. JN. I'm still saying, hey, Auntie. 8 years later. Yeah, yeah. I'm mad because I never. I need to get that shirt back. I forgot to get that shirt. Uh, mm. Anyway, Regina, yeah, the guy who said you gave the black take. Yeah, some dude was like, "Oh, this is a black take." I'm like, "What's a black take? What do you mean by that?" Come on, Twitter troll. You thought you had something. You reposted and everything. What's a black take? Hold on, let's put him up. Nah, he won't be famous. Let's see. Where's he at? He wanted to be famous, didn't he? No. Where is he at? Where is he at? Oh no, I know I got it. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah, this dude right here. Who is this? Olulak. Olu, Olulak. Olulak. That guy. Black take. What's a black take, y'all? What's a black take? Like, y'all just be saying stuff just to say stuff. And I get it. You know, Twitter has definitely protected people to be their full ugly selves as much as they want to be. All right, whatever. DJ Sinners will be more impactful down the road as a cult classic, and people will still want a sequel. No one will ask for a one battle sequel, not a soul. Nah, that's not true. Some film nerd in the corner somewhere will ask for it, but it will not be a very big number. I'll give him that. I want to be nice. I want to be nice. I want to be nice. But yes, that very few 3-4 people are gonna be like, I would love it when battles continuation. Can we get a prequel to? I know. Whoo, this was funny. Giving black takes at his black job. Listen, please support black jobs. Please support black jobs, okay? Please. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Oh man, thank you so much, Shaka Zulu. Appreciate the support. Rhonda, one battle was not good. They just don't want us to be great. They really don't want Sinner's tone great. And you're welcome for season 3 of Primal. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Where's Mike? Is Mike still here? Mike, this is my problem. Even if I wanted to go watch F1, season 3 of Primal's back. I can't just not watch that. Primal is amazing. And shout out to Rhonda for putting me on Primal, because you did. Like, this is why I can't get nothing done. It's always something else. It's always something else. Oh, man. Natalie, fair representation truly is one battle after another. Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Actually, I want to go back to this real quick. So it's funny you say that they just don't want us to be great. I was having a conversation with somebody. It was during a live space, a Twitter Spaces, and I remember that they were saying like, "Oh, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson, like Sinners is great, but Paul Thomas Anderson, you know, he did a good job, and he just really deserves this right now, and this might be like one of his best movies." And I said, like, let me just ask y'all something straight up, just what does it take? Because if we're being honest about award shows in general, y'all don't like comedies and y'all hate horror movies because most award-winning movies only tend to go to dramas. And that's an issue in itself. Ryan Coogler sat here and took probably one of the most biased genres. And I mean, like, there are people that just do not like horror, or they just can't watch horror, right? He took one of the most niche horrors, broke box office numbers, got critics and audiences to love it. What more do you need? Like, he's doing leaps and bounds more with less. And he made it black centered. You took a horror, you made it R-rated, you made it black centered. Critics loved it, fans loved it. It made money in the box office. It has cultural significance. What more does a man have to do, or woman, to be great? What more do they need? What more do you want from a black filmmaker to be worthy of your award status? Because I challenge Paul Thomas Anderson to go make something. I don't know what white culture is, so make it some other culture. I challenge him to do that with a horror movie and R-rated and make it that great and impactful and well received by critics and fans. I'm just saying, you don't see that all the time. When somebody, it's not even a trifecta, it's a, what's a five-fecta? Whatever the five, like, black centered, rated R, horror movie, critics, fans, box office. How many more checks do you need? How many more boxes need to be checked off so that you can actually be like, nah, listen, even if I don't like this, even if I don't understand this, I got to give it props. That's literally like in basketball, somebody averaging 50 points a game, and you like, nah, let's give it to the white player that averaged 25. 25 is good. It's not 50. 25 is good. It's like, at some point, how come the stats just don't matter? Sorry. Mike, I definitely want to get a look at that list. See, that list. Well, first of all, some of that list I can't tell y'all about. That's the problem. Okay, wait. Time out. Yes, Steve Nash. Yes. Thank you, Mike. Guys, I know I'm late, and I apologize. I need to do. Hold on. Let me put this up though. I need to. Let me put this up. Let me apologize to y'all real quick. I have had access to this show for 2 months or whatever. Netflix gave it to me. And I let y'all down because me and the wife, we sat down, we watched maybe the first 3 episodes, and I was like, nah, I'm bored, I'm tired. She didn't like it either. We gave up. But when I tell you His and Hers is a must watch. Now, hopefully the internet has not spoiled it for you. Hopefully they didn't. And please, if you know it, do not spoil it here. Please do not spoil it here. Please do not. Mainly because the quality of this show entirely hinges on the ending. I did not know. Now, I've told y'all there are 2 types of viewers out there. There are people that like the journey more than the destination, and there are people that love the destination more than the actual journey. I am a destination person. I need to know, is there something at the end of this trip that's going to justify this bumpy journey along the way? And there is. This is a destination TV series. It is, in my opinion, a must watch. Again, it's slow. It takes some time to like get into it. I gave up on episode 3. I went back at, shout out to Just My Opinion Reviews. I know my man was telling me like, you gotta watch. Shout out to him as well. And there was a lot of peer pressure. I kept hearing everybody talking about this show and all this stuff. And I was like, man, all right, man, whatever. I asked my wife. She was like, she's not interested. I sat down. I was like, man, there's only like 3 episodes left. It's 6 episodes in total. I went ahead and watched it, and I was blown away. I'm not even going to tell you about it because I don't want to spoil it or ruin it for you. But if you are on the fence about watching His and Hers, go watch it. The last 15 to 20 minutes of that show, if that don't blow you away, I don't know what will. Because I know for me, what I liked about the show, and I'm going to keep it spoiler free. I suspected. I had a suspicion. And the thing is, I allowed the show, and this is a good kudos for the show. I allowed the show to take me away from my suspicion and go down this whole other path. And I was cool with it. I was like, okay, like, I guessed it, but I left it alone. So I'm not going to count it. I'm not going to act like, ooh, I figured it out. No. I dropped it. I was like, nah, I like this way better. This makes most sense. And then they was like, nope, that. I was like, for real? Wonderful. Go watch His and Hers. I apologize for not being on this sooner for y'all. I should have done that. Absolute must watch. Go see it if you haven't already. Fantastic. Okay. I apologize. I want to make sure I got that out there. What else do we have? Oh, it's time for got some more comments. Did I get everybody? Shaka Zulu, what you got? Tens of thousands spoof videos of sinners on TikTok. That's what I'm saying. Compare that. Just look at the hashtags of sinners versus One Battle. And here's the thing. Look at it after the awards talk, because I'm still is that Tane? Oh, what's up, Tane? Man, you sitting here changing names on me. I think, especially in this world that we're in now, social media is an indicator of our society and culture. So yeah, some people might want to be like, oh, it's just on. Yeah, but guess what? It's people talking about it. It's something that can inspire people to go watch it. It's people that can, it's what keeps the movie alive, at that point. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for that. DJ, hey, I'm half Dominican and half Puerto Rican. I support my people's need. I support and my people's need jobs too. All love, fam. Hey, I wasn't even going to talk about the jobs, man. I'm not even going to go into the jokes or nothing like that. Shout out to my Puerto Rican and Dominican brothers and sisters out there. But yeah, that was going to be a whole nother thing. I'm not a comic, so I don't have the skill set to joke about that, and I'm not trying to offend nobody. So I love everybody. All right. I love all of y'all. Rhonda, what you got? I have seen Sinners 5 times. Quality. It's like I've never seen it before. His and Hers was next on the list, as well as Castle Rock. Now, you setting yourself up. I've been watching Castle Rock, and boy, is it a chore. It is a chore. Like, I've literally put it on a couple times, and I've struggled. I think I'm at the end of season 1. I think they are dragging that along. But you go ahead and watch that His and Hers. And you watch that His and Hers, Rhonda, we're going to be even with Primal. We're going to be even. Because that show right there, yes, definitely worth it. Castle Rock, I don't know. I'm still on the journey, and it's a bumpy ride. I'm watching it like every other day. Like, I don't know. That Welcome to Derry hype just kind of fizzled out a little bit, Let's see. Chris, I'm gonna get to you in just a sec, bro. Let me get the Star Wars here. All right, we got a Star Wars update. So it has been, we talked about this last week, that Dave Filoni is stepping in. He is now going to be the runner the co-head person at and Brenner, I think her name is. They're going to do basically a dual role type of situation. So that's what's going to happen right now with Star Wars, and that means Kathleen Kennedy is out of there. Now, I'm not going to put no shade on this woman's resume. She has done phenomenal work. Okay. She was there with E.T. She was there with a whole bunch of other, all the Indiana Jones, and she's been there for a minute. Okay. She's been doing a lot of work. However, she has a notable gap in her resume when it comes to Star Wars movies, since we ain't had one since 2018. And she also has the problem, I think, of not of over promising and under delivering. We've had so many things promised to us by her going on stage, basically pulling the Kevin Feige the same way he did with Blade, going on stage. We got this, we got that, we got this, we got that, and nothing's showing up. Only thing we got was the Starfighter movie, and then the Mandalorian and Grogu, and who knows if those are even real. I know we got a trailer, but who knows? I need tickets on sale. I need to see it playing in the theater. Like, I still don't believe it until I see it. So anyway, we got some updates here, and I didn't go through the full interview, so I just got the snippets of, she gave us some updates on the future of Star Wars. And she says here that James Mangold's film, that was going to be the one like 1,000 years before the Jedi or something like that. Yeah, that's on hold. But it's got an incredible script. Yay! Donald Glover, he was going to do his whole little thing. Yeah, he's got a script. He's turned it in for a Lando movie. That's great. Simon Kinberg, who gave y'all those atrocious X-Men Fox movies, he's actively working on a trilogy of films that apparently Dave Filoni and Lin Wen, they are on board for. Now, I have already been on the fence when it comes to Simon Kinberg. If you don't know, Simon Kinberg, like I said, he was the producer over there at Fox who gave us some very terrible X-Men movies. Very terrible. Like I have said before, he is bizarro Kevin Feige. Like Kevin Feige don't hit for, he don't bat for 100 either, but he's given us more positives than negatives. Simon Kinberg has given us more negatives than positives, in my opinion. So, but the fact that Dave Filoni is on board with it, that's the only thing giving me hope. That whatever trilogy he's talking, and first of all, I don't even like the fact that y'all talking about that this is already a trilogy. How do you know we even like this? How do you know that it's going to have legs? I don't like that. Don't tell me you're going to give me a trilogy and you don't even know if we want a trilogy from this in the first place. Please stop that. Please. Taika Waititi, who was always supposed to be working on something, he actually turned in the script for a movie, and she calls it hilarious and great. Ma'am, I don't care. I don't care. That's great that you found it funny, because guess what? I'm pretty sure he turned in the script and the executives at Marvel called it, hilarious and great, and we got Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't care about your sensibilities. I don't care about your humor. That's not. No, don't. That does not give me confidence. That does not give me confidence at all. And she also confirmed that the hunt for Ben Solo's script is also on the back burner. Surprise, surprise. What's that song? Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Star Wars movie on the back burner. Surprise, surprise. All right. Shocker. Shocker. So yeah, that is what she's leaving. And basically she just said, like, listen, all these things that are out there, it's going to be up to Dave Filoni and Lin Wen. They're going to have to figure out what they do. They're going to have to figure it out. And that's fine, right? Like at this point, I want that Dave Filoni to work his magic, because this dude, he's been mentored by George Lucas himself. He is the apprentice, basically, the disciple of George Lucas, whatever you want to say. And that's what let's go. Let's go. So I like the fact that, Dave is working on this. I like the fact that, he is going to give this approval or not. So I'm with this. By the way, we'll keep it on this. There was a article, I think, that was posted on the wrap.com, and it had to do with Dave Filoni and y'all show. Yes, Padawan would have been a better word. Y'all smarter than me. I'm sorry. Doing live stuff is hard. According to the wrap, y'all show Andor might not be as cool as y'all think it is for everybody. Now, I'm not gonna trash it. I already told y'all I liked the first season. It was cool. I still gotta watch the second season. Mike, that's on my list. Andor season 2, that's on my list. But Andor, widely regarded as one of the strongest creative achievements of Kathleen Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilm, was reportedly disliked by Dave Filoni, according to sources at Lucasfilm. Ooh, Dave Filoni, the new man in charge. He don't like y'all show Andor. Ooh, y'all already know that caused a whole stir. And listen, I had to say this. I posted this earlier, and I'm already getting a little bit of flack from it. I don't care. But I've said this even in my review. Andor is like art house films. It's like the kind of movies or TV shows that the critics love. The people, the movie buffs, the TV buffs, the people that love cinema. That's the kind of people that love Andor, and that's okay. I'm not saying that to disparage it. I'm saying that it caters to a certain audience, and that makes sense, right? Andor is a much more sophisticated, it's a much more mature themed version of Star Wars. That's just what it is. However, Star Wars, the franchise, as I would put it, is like Avengers. It's like the MCU. It's made for the general audience. I told y'all this before. I come to Star Wars for the Force and some lightsabers and a dark side or two. Like, that's it. It's not complicated, right? And George Lucas himself has said Star Wars is for 12-year-olds. That's what the man created this whole franchise for 12-year-olds. And I've already had people, coming at me, and they sitting here like, oh, but we've grown up already. I watched Star Wars when I was 12, and I've grown up, and we like this more mature part. And I was like, listen, that's okay. I understand. I used to watch Sesame Street too. I also used to watch Power Rangers. And would you, if y'all told me there was a more mature rated R Power Rangers, I'm gonna be first in line to see that. But I also understand I've outgrown it, and that's okay. Power Rangers ain't for me no more. Okay, I still have the nostalgia kick. I still remember when Tommy went into that Megazord and whooped everybody, when Green Ranger was giving everybody problems. I remember that. But I'm not going to sit here and be a grown nerd and be upset that Power Rangers isn't growing up with me. I'm not doing that. Even Marvel, we have the same issues with Marvel, right? That Marvel, man, y'all need to grow this stuff up. It's okay. But that's also because Marvel was never meant to only be for a certain audience. So that's why that doesn't really count. Marvel has rated R content. They have more mature themes. That's okay. That's not what Star Wars tried to do. Star Wars, according to George Lucas anyway, was not trying to be for mature audiences and rated R and this and that. Like, it wasn't trying to do all that. So it's not the worst thing. Now, anyway, when it comes to what Dave Filoni has felt about Andor, and I get it, some of the Star Wars nerds are like definitely, panicking. They freaking out because they like, hey, if Dave Filoni don't like this, Andor might be gone. It could be a wrap. Well, he has already talked about Andor, and he has said on a podcast, the bottom line is whatever we do, it has to be really well done. When you look at something that's taken as different, like Andor, it's so well done, and Tony Gilroy and his team do such a phenomenal job. I think there's an audience for that. Ooh, did y'all hear what he said, though? He said, I think there's an audience for that. He didn't say all Star Wars fans will love that. As I said, Andor is niche. Andor is for that grown up, 30, 40-year-old plus Star Wars fan who saw Star Wars in the theaters, who's grown up, who wants something more sophisticated. That's what Andor is, and that's lovely. But Andor is also going to put other people to sleep. Andor is going to put some teenagers to bed. Andor is going to go over the heads of the same kids that watched, Return of the Jedi or the prequels, and they're looking for lightsabers and they're looking for the Force. Andor is going to put some of those people to sleep. And that should be okay too. Everything ain't for everybody. And we just need to be okay with that. There are certain things like what is it? Star Wars, what is it, the Young Jedis or something like that? They had something with like these little kid Jedis or something like that. It was like a little animated Star Wars series. Somebody, if y'all can remember the name, I think it was like the Jedi Young Tales or something like that. Tales of the Young Jedi. Somebody help me with that. But I'm not watching that. It's not meant for me. Now, if I'm gonna introduce my my youngest kids, my 8-year-old or something like that, maybe if I'm like, hey, let's watch some Star Wars, maybe I introduce them to that. But it's not meant for me. I'm not mad about that. That all Star Wars and every Star Wars doesn't cater to me and my mature adult sensibility. No, move on. Anyway, so Dave Filoni does not dislike Star Wars Andor, but he is in charge. And I think the man who Young Jedi Adventures, thank you so much, Kristen. I think the man who learned from the man himself, George Lucas, would have a better idea of who and what Star Wars is all about and where it can go. So I'm trusting Dave Filoni. I'm not listening to the Star Wars nerds that are mad about that stuff out there. I don't care what y'all's talking about. I really don't. So anyway, y'all let me know how you feel. Kathleen also left us with some other little goodies. She says that she also talked with David Fincher, Alex Garland, and Vince Gilligan about developing Star Wars projects in the past. Ma'am, I don't care. Like the epitome of just talking about it and not walking it is just like, would I love something Star Wars related from David Fincher? Absolutely. Would I want something from Alex Garland? Hell no. That's a different conversation. We'll talk about that later. Would I want a Star Wars thing from Vince Gilligan, who just gave us Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, and now Pluribus? Hell yeah. But just like Kevin Garnett said, why the hell would you tell me about something? Why would you show me something and not let me have it? Like, why would you do this? I don't need to know these things. I'm okay with her being gone. I'm very okay with her being gone. Great producer, excellent executive, but you can go. It's okay. It was a nice run, kind of. Anyway, Y'all let me know, what do you think about all these Star Wars updates? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Dang, y'all coming through. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. Chris, what you got? So it's supposed to be negative 10 degrees at the Bears and Rams game. Does it get that cold in Chicago? Yes. And you finna be by the lake? Hey, that negative 10, that's just the regular weather. What it feels like weather is probably going to be negative 20. Enjoy. I will be watching at home in the warmth. Go Bears. But no, yeah. Yes. What you say here? 49ers for life. The real reason Smoke and Stack moved back down south. Well, that could be its own movie in itself. But that's for Ryan to decide. But yes, sir, it is going to be ice cold. Make sure you brace yourself. It's that's what it'd be like. Listen, that weather is one of the reasons why I had to train Kobe to kind of poop on command. Not like poop and he does it, but more of like, we're going in the back. It's a patch of grass. Do your duty right now. Do it right now. Because you're not going to be able to feel your pause in 2 seconds. So he's gotten to that point where now he can do that, because ain't nobody walking in negative 10 degree weather like that. I almost died walking a quarter of my block. I had long johns, a big old coat, everything. And when I tell you, my face started to freeze, and I made the other mistake. I think I put some Vaseline on my face. It's a myth. It does not help, because now you just have a sheet of gelled ice on your face. Do not do it. Do not do it. Just get you a face mask, get in and get out. And I do not envy anybody going to that game. Not at all. DJ, the center scenarios with the music mix was epic and will be talked about and inspired forever. Absolutely. I 100% believe in our lifetime we will see somebody else pay homage to Sinners than they will one battle after another. Absolutely. E-Man, can you show more clapbacks of your tweet? I done clicked off of if I got, I'll see. I'll see. Give me some. I'm gonna save you a comment. I'm gonna save it. If I got a little time at the end, I'll see, because I'll see. Give me some time. DJ, have I watched Fallout? What do you think? That's on the list. I'm sorry, that's on the list. Like, we got hit. Oh man. I have so many things on the list. Like, I have Pluribus that I have to finish. I started it, but I have to finish it. Primal, F1, Fallout, Wonder Man, Paradise, and that's just 6. Like, that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Hijack. Like, if only I did this full time. If only I did this full time. Ma'am, hold on. Who's that? Where's she at? Ma'am. We don't do that here. It's gonna be Bears. Just go Bears. I know it might have been a typo. Go Bears. The Bears. Go Bears. We're not doing that. But thank you. Regina, Ryan Coogler did Stephen Colbert and got a huge standing ovation. Miles Ludwig, Raphael Sadiq performed I Lied to You on Jimmy Kimmel this week. I saw that. It was a really good performance. Fantastic. And you know what? Shout out to Miles. I'm so happy that Miles is getting his flowers, because while Sinners might be getting disrespected, in my opinion, and overlooked and underappreciated, you do see a lot of people recognizing Miles as a breakthrough talent, and I'm very, very happy for him for that. Damn, see, cross season 2. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we just, like, y'all don't understand. It's so much stuff. And it's like, if I don't get on it, and And by the way, I didn't even mention this. I need to go back and rewatch all 3 seasons of From. I have to go do that. If y'all want some quality videos from me for From, I gotta go back and rewatch that. I don't have the time. Like it's yo, it's work, y'all. It really is work. I don't think you understand. It's really work. We don't know when From drops. We don't know. We're assuming in the springtime, but once I find out, we will be going live and talking about it. Trust me. Trust me. Let's see. Who else? J. Dot. They shouldn't do anything related to the sequel trilogy. One of the movies are supposed to be, one of the Star Wars movies are supposed to be a continuation of what happens with Rey and all this other stuff, but who knows? Who knows? Struggle is real. I started Castle Rock in 2018. So again, I haven't finished Castle Rock. Like I said, I don't know where it's going. Actually, for those of y'all that have finished Castle Rock, I saw that it ended with only 2 seasons. Did it at least have a good conclusion? Or did it leave you on a cliffhanger as if like, oh man, here comes season 3 and season 3 just never comes? Because if it's the latter, I hate it when shows do that. I hate it when you got me in and you leave me hanging. Like, I hate that so much. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But I'm seeing people liking Castle Rock. So I'm watching. I'm giving it a shot. I'm just hoping that destination is worth it. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. Let's see. John, I heard Kevin Feige is leaving after Secret Wars. Is that true? Nobody knows. To be honest, nobody knows. People were saying that about Infinity and Endgame. That didn't happen. Now he's been pursued, right? He has been chased. It was reported that before they went after James Gunn, Warner Brothers went after Kevin Feige. They tried to steal him away and was like, hey, why don't you bring that tail on over here to WB, but he declined. So, it is what it is. ILL, what you got? How do you feel about the Odyssey trailer? It's fine. I would obviously love to do a reaction. And I told you guys this, like, if a trailer comes out, I usually test it to see if YouTube will flag me or whatever. They flagged me for that. They wouldn't let me play it. But it's one of those things where, like, I think that the trailer is going to be less impressive than the actual movie. I think the movie is going to be better than whatever the trailer showed, because I don't think the trailer showed a lot, which I love. First of all, amazing cast. It's Christopher Nolan. That's all I need. That's all I need. So I'm already in. I don't need to see anything else. I'm fine. So I'm with it. Let's go. I'm with that all day. Let's go to, we got 2 more topics. We're going to talk about Game of Thrones, and then we'll finish off with 28 Years Later, Bone Temple review. Let's do the Game of Thrones real quick. So, Game of the Thrones. You do have an oldie but a goodie. Where my girl Kiki at? Kiki, you still here? I hope you're still here, because I got some important news that you can use. To all my Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin fans, we got breaking update, y'all. Breaking update. Let me break this down piece by piece for y'all. George R.R. Martin, on whether he's considered giving up on finishing the Winds of Winter book. He says, I would hate that. I would feel like a total failure to me. I want to finish. Sir, you have failed. You're not going to finish. You're not going to finish that book. George R.R. Martin has found every and any and other things to do besides finishing the book. This man has worked on TV shows. He's consulted on movies. He's gone to parties, comic conventions. This man has done everything else but touch that book. You failed. You failed. Listen, it was a great run. You had a great run. Thank you for everything. But at this point, listen, what's going to come out first? A Blade movie or George R.R. Martin finishing? Neither one. Trick question. Neither one. Okay? Neither one going to happen. It's just not. It's just not. I'm not going to fool myself, and I don't think you should either. But thank you for playing. Moving on. He was doing this big old interview, and one other thing that was mentioned, because it has nothing to do with actually finishing the book, a Game of Thrones sequel is being explored. And the story is still being decided, but there's a possibility it might be focused on Arya Stark. First and foremost, yes. Give me this. Give me all of that. Okay? Give me this hand-wrapped, packaged up, delivered. I want it. I want it. Okay? I need to see if a girl has a face. I need to see Arya Stark traveling the world. I want to see the world outside of Game of Thrones and Westeros or whatever. I want to see what this girl learns, what she does, because she had one of the better story arcs that I think at least didn't get completely ruined by the Game of Thrones writers. Come on now. Y'all know George R.R. Martin is going to be consulting on this and doing everything but writing the book. Let's be honest. This man finna do he gonna be on set every day. He gonna read every script. He's gonna consult on every direction. And at no point is that book gonna be touched. Now, in addition to the Arya Stark potential that they might do, which I fully support if they want to do that. And she definitely got to assassinate some folks. Now this is interesting. We've talked about, and there have been talks about Aegon's conquest. Aegon's conquest, obviously, that is where the King Aegon conquered all of Westeros, brought all the, different countries together and all of that. He brought the 7 kingdoms together because of his dream about the whole, the long night and all of that stuff, right? But the question now is a little bit different. It says Aegon's conquest is being developed with 2 possible paths: an HBO's TV series or a massive Dune-sized feature film for theaters. Ooh. Ooh. This is a tough choice. This is tough. I need my Game of Thrones fans. Do we want an HBO series for Aegon's conquest, or do we want this as a big old movie that we go to the theaters for? Here's what I would say, and here's the thing. I have not read the books, so I don't know the full depth of the series, of the books, of the story. If you tell me that Aegon's conquest has a lot of layers, right? Like if it's a lot of different aspects to the story and all that, I do not want that crammed into a movie. Okay? So if you tell me whether Aegon's conquest is going to be a TV show or a movie, it depends on the story. If the story is rich and it has a lot of layers and a lot of characters and a lot of twists and turns, that's for a TV series. But if it's one big event, if it's just one big old war, you can give me that in a movie. You can give that to me in a movie and I think I'll be okay. But I don't want to feel shortchanged if they cram all of that down into a movie and I'm like, dang man, y'all only introduced this one character, but y'all really could have gone deeper or whatever. That's when you go to the TV series. And here's the other thing. A wise man once said, why not just do both? Why not? Why not hit us up with 6 episodes to lead us up to the big old battle, the big old whatever, and then drop that season finale as a movie? That's still a good option to me. To me, it sounds like you're not going to tie people into, oh, you got to go watch all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. And just watch 6 episodes, get primed up, and then the season finale drops in theaters. I feel like that's a win. You could just do that. Do both. But anyway, last but not least, we got one last thing to talk about with Game of Thrones, and that's with y'all boy Jon Snow, Kit Harington. We're not going to talk about how they fumbled his story, because they definitely fumbled his story. But Kit got some beefs. He got some beef with some people. And he's not holding his tongue on it at all. Now, this was something I had no idea about. But apparently, did y'all know that there was actually a petition? Let me see. Can I open that? There was actually a petition about remaking Game of Thrones. Remake season 3 with competent writers. Y'all, this thing got, how many? Can I show this? I can't even show it. It got 1,864,000 votes. Golly. It started with the goal of only 15,000 signatures, and it got 1.8 million. Ha! So my man wasn't feeling it. He said that genuinely angered me. Right? Like, how dare you? Sorry, that's just how I feel. I feel it was a level of idiocy that can only come through social media. I mean, first of all, how dare you? Jon Snow, you know nothing. How dare you? Last time I checked, you only have a job because those same people that voted pay for a subscription that pays the studio that stays in business to pay you and to hire you. All of y'all people in Hollywood, every single one of y'all work for us. Y'all don't have careers without us, the audience, the fans. Way too often, creatives, filmmakers, writers, actors, whatever, I understand you get knee deep into the process. You're breaking your back, blood, sweat, tears, just to make a good product. I get it. But you would not be there without the audience. And you're entitled to your feelings. You're entitled to be upset. I get it. You feel like, yo, what are you calling the writers bad for? I loved it. I get it. But sir, if we don't show up, you're not working. If we don't show up, there's nothing for you to work hard at. So, while you could disagree with people in terms of like how they came about it or whatever, you still need to also respect the fact that if 1.9 million, 1.8 million people felt a certain way, they might, I don't know, have a point. Maybe they are your customers. They are the people that actually, like, I didn't even know about this petition. I might have signed it. Now, I agree. I do think it's a little messed up to call them incompetent and stuff like that. That's a cheap shot. I will say that. I'll agree with that. That's a cheap shot. But y'all did give us some boo-boo stuff. Because wasn't it Daenerys? Was Amelia Clark? Do y'all remember that interview she did on the red carpet? And her face said it all. Her face, they was like, "Ooh, how do you think fans are gonna feel about the season finale?" And she was just like, she knew. Amelia knew. She knew we was gonna be served up some hot BS. So no, sir. Not how dare you. How dare you? Okay. How dare you give us that season 8? Walk out there. How dare you not speak up during that meeting in the writer's room and be like, no, stop. This is bad. Let's do it again. What else? Let's see. I guess during this time, he told the New York Times that he was in rehab when the final Game of Thrones season premiered. When he got out, he was shocked by the overwhelming negativity, considering the work he and the rest of the production team had put in. What work? What work? Last I checked, there was. Listen, hold on. It's not even just me. Not even just me. Game of Thrones season 8 was criticized for everything from the treatment of its female protagonists to its lighting and cinematography. And let's not forget, the blowback from the season came after fans spotted a Starbucks cup in a scene. Once again, what hard work? And how dare you? Don't get mad at us for reacting to something that you made that didn't come out well. I've been saying this all stream. You had a nice run. You had 7 seasons of masterful, wonderful stuff. You dropped the ball on the last season. Okay, sorry. Take it to the chin. It's a loss. You took a loss. That's all. Now, just a little insight from the higher up. Casey Bloys, who is the HBO CEO, said here, there are very, very few downsides to having a hugely popular show, but one I can think of is when you try to end it. Many people have big opinions on how it should end. The petition shows a lot of enthusiasm and passion for the show, but it wasn't something we seriously considered. In other words, we didn't care about y'all's petition, and it is what it is. Okay, I'd rather you say that. I actually would rather you say that than sit here and, how dare you? How dare, no, get out my face. Get out my face. Anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about all the Game of Thrones updates? Do you want that Arya Stark spinoff? Are you looking for Aegon the Conqueror, movie or TV series? Will George R.R. Martin finish his book? Sorry, just playing. We know that's not happening. And what do you feel about Kit Harington's comments about the whole Game of Thrones thing? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What is playing? Oh, okay. I'm like, why is Dave Filoni talking? Yeah, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. I do have one last thing. I didn't even put these up here. We got to do the 28 years later. Let me, and Sony, Sony, shame on y'all. Y'all didn't give me y'all didn't give nobody no pictures, no nothing to work with at all. I had to go on the internet to find pictures for your movie. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Okay. Do I have stuff? Yes. No, I don't want that. It's Avatar. Okay. Let's talk about 28 years later, The Bone Temple. I will give you guys my spoiler-free review. And you guys can make up your mind from that. So, in a continuation of the story, Dr. Kelson, played by Ray Fiennes, makes a discovery that might change the world as we know it. And Spike's encounter with Jimmy, played by Jack O'Connell, becomes a nightmare that he can't escape. Okay? So, Bone Temple is obviously a sequel to 28 Years Later, a direct sequel to that. And let me do like I normally do. I'll start off with what I thought was good in the film. And first of all, shout out to Nia DaCosta. She did come in, and I thought immediately the film just felt like it was shot better. I love the cinematography in the film. I thought that there were certain scenes that just felt, I felt like the actual scenery more. I liked some of the action sequences. I liked some of the editing style as well. So immediately, I thought that that was much more immersive from a visual standpoint. I would also say that the performances in this film were solid. Ain't nobody ever gonna believe that Ray Fiennes will give you a bad performance. Ray Fiennes is a fantastic actor, and he absolutely delivers his role here for sure. Not only that, but so does Jack O'Connell. So Jack O'Connell, who plays the leader of the Power Ranger people, Jimmy's captivating performance, right? Definitely does a wonderful performance here as well. And I would just say so do the rest of the cast. The rest of the cast do a very good job. They perform, they're believable, all of that. One other thing I did like was, man, they do not tone down the violence. The violence is still there. It is still very gratuitous. You might not want to eat before you go watch. You might not want to do that, but you have some hard to watch scenes. Very, very. So if you're not into body horror, you might want to just cover your eyes during a certain scene, and you'll know it when you see it. But yeah, very hard to watch scenes, but they keep up with that. I think that's it. Cinematography's cool. Acting was cool. Violence, action was all right. That's about it. That's about it. Now I got to talk about the bad. I think the overall problem I had with 28 Years Later, Bone Temple had to be the writing. The writing bothered me the most with the entire thing. There are some moments of dark humor, and I'm going to leave that up to y'all on whether or not it works for you or not. I didn't understand some of the purpose of some of the characters. You have this whole thing with the Jimmies, and honestly, it just did not work for me. I mean, we're following them around in the film, and it still remains to me unclear why or how this group even came to be and why I should care. I also think that their inclusion in this, it feels like, especially given once you find out the extreme stuff that they do, I didn't really see any correlation or purpose as to why this group exists in this 28 years later world. Right? So let me give a better example. So, because I know I'm talking vaguely here. When you look at the last movie, 28 Years Later, you saw a certain community come about because the world has been ravished with like all these with this disease and these zombie type people or whatever. It makes sense, right? People had to isolate themselves, etc., etc. That made sense for that world. I don't see why or how the Jimmies make any sense in this world. And to me, it feels more like they were just added because you just wanted to try and do something different. That's the way it felt. It felt like you were only there to have something sensational, something different, rather than expounding on what makes this world actually unique because of the disease, because of like the zombies, whatever. You just wanted to do something just to do something. So to me, the writing is the biggest weakness. The humor is hit or miss. It is not going to be for everybody. And that to me is where I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. But let me give y'all the reason. Um, I would say that 28 years later, the Bone Temple, it is an ambitious venture away from a traditional zombie movie. It's going to do something different. But ultimately, it feels like a mixed bag with no real direction. Like I left that movie feeling like I had more questions rather than having a feeling of satisfaction or entertainment. Now, I don't know where this story is going to go or whether it's even going to be interesting anymore. The film's dark humor, I think, is also going to only appeal to a niche audience. And guess what? If you like it, that's great. If you like this type of humor, good for you. But it did not resonate with me. It did not work for me. So when it comes to the rating for 28 years later, the Bone Temple, I have to give it like a 6 out of 10. It's if you were expecting the infected and more focus on them and all of that, guess again. Now, I did like what they did with some of the infected, but it's not what this movie's about. You're just not going to get that if that's your expectation. And I think the most disappointing thing with this film for me is just that it overall killed my interest in this franchise. I loved the first two movies. I loved the first half of the third movie. But the moment they got to that train scene, everything went downhill for me. And I think the previous film was worse to me only because of the sharp pivot that it makes after that train scene. It started off as, hey, we're going back to the basics. We're doing the infected versus people. And then after that, it was like, oh, it's about the philosophy and the themes and the society. And it's kind of like, that's not what you sold me on. Now, this movie, at least, it continues with that. So if you like the themes and the philosophy and the deeper meta conversations and all, then that's great. You will like that movie because it stays that course. But I can't say that I want to stay along for the ride. So again, if you liked the last 28 years later, I think you will enjoy this one. But if you didn't, I can't say that this will be for you. I it's not for me. So anyway, y'all let me know. Have you seen 28 years later, Bone Temple? Do you plan on seeing it? If and when you do, come on back and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Ooh, that's it. That's all I got. I got a couple minutes. Let me see if I can bring it up. Because I know it was asked. About my clapbacks or whatnot. Let's see if I can pull them up. I don't know if I had like good takes. I think I had a couple takes. I don't know. Let's see. What did I say? Did I say anything? Yeah, okay. Love Senate. Nah, he wasn't clapping back. Yeah, I see. I like these. I like it when people can just be sensible, right? Like, hey, I like this. Wasn't my big thing. That's fine. That's fine, right? Like, if you like this and we just have a different opinion, that's okay. I got no. Let me give my man a like right here. That's okay with me. I got no problem with people just having a difference of opinion. You know. Um, so yeah, somebody said here, sure, you never hear about Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and There Will Be Blood these days. Who's talking about those movies? Who's talking about them? And then he says here, well, I don't understand the need to put down one movie in order to hype one you preferred. So unnecessary and not for nothing, but Sinners lost Best Picture at Golden Globes to Hamnet, not OBAA. Ha 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 ha. Real shocker from a voting body who had racist allegations not too long ago. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking? Like, who was shocked? Of course they wasn't gonna win. Like, stop playing. Oh man. Man, shut your tail up and keep crying. Both films, both are great, but OBAA is top tier. You know the best thing to do with a troll is to laugh at him and not give him no satisfaction. No. Like, I'm not. I'm sorry. I find that funny. I find it funny when you get all riled up and you just, man, you just stupid. No. I'm not gonna shut up. No, matter of fact, let me give him a like too. Let me give him a like because it's gonna make him come back and read it. He gonna be like, why did he like my? He gonna come back and read it. I just like playing with people like that. Like, y'all not gonna get under my skin like that. Okay, listen, you guys were born with the internet. I was born in the dark. Okay, I was born in the darkness before the internet came about. Y'all not gonna hurt my feelings like that. Okay, I was raised by it. Like, cue the Bane talk. Like, come on now, please. Let's see. Anybody else? This be like what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Hi, Sinners is a fun, campy vampire movie. It doesn't automatically become brilliant or meaningful or memorable because a black person directed it. Have a nice day. What? Hi, racist. How are you? Let me go ahead and comment on that. What did I say? Hi, thanks for the straw man argument, because who actually even put that forward as an argument? Nobody. You just wanted to come out here and espouse basically the racist things that you and your racist friends probably talk about. Thank you for telling on yourself, because nobody even made that argument. At no point did anyone say that. Y'all just like to make stuff up so that way you can think you own people. And look at all the racists that agree with them. Because, like, who was even talking about that? Ah, man. Yeah, I like this too. Are we only allowed to like one movie per release year? I think I've been doing movies wrong. Help. No, I like both movies. That's not what this post was about. Why do y'all be trying to change the subject just to, like, y'all just don't y'all don't read? Y'all don't know stuff? Oh, man. Let's see. Anybody else say anything good? Oh, I like this one. And this wasn't even like a clapback. Wasn't even a big thing. My man was like, hey, I feel like people are still gonna use clips of OBAA for memes way after award season. I ain't gonna lie. I did like this. And listen, this was a good little, I guess, if you want to use that as a meme, sure. But I'm like, listen, maybe, but I can also see people using one last Sinners one like this too. Like, nah, we good. Or my personal favorite, Y'all Clan. Because I'm gonna be using that one for I feel like I'm gonna use that for a long time. Nah, we good. Y'all Clan, that's gonna be used too many times in our lifetime. Okay, I'm done. I told you I was gonna be under 3 hours, or at least I was gonna try, and I did it. So, J Dot, there you go. Listen, y'all can go through the rest of them. Feel free, I think the ratio one. Oh, this was the ratio one. This was I don't care. This was the ratio one. Imagine believing PTA film will be culturally irrelevant in decades to come. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. The constant discourse about Boogie Nights, Licorice Pizza, and The Master and Phantom Thread, it's deafening. I just wish people would stop talking about those movies. Oh my gosh. Every day, someone's talking about Licorice Pizza. Every day, The Master comes up. Phantom Thread changed lives. No one's saying these movies are not good. That's not the point. The point is the discourse, the conversation outside of nerdy film circles is dead. That's all. And it's okay. Y'all need to be able to sleep at night knowing that that happens to great movies all the time. It just does. But y'all be butthurt. And I'm here for the butthurtness. I'm here for it. I'm glad that y'all butthurt. You know, listen, I wouldn't be in this film space if I didn't feel passionate about movies too. It's just that some of y'all sound dumb. That's the only difference. And I'm not trying to talk about y'all IQs. I'm just saying y'all sound dumb when you argue things that are not even being argued. That's part of my issue. But anyway, I'm done. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for coming to hang out with your boy tonight. It's always a fun time, always a pleasure. I think that's it. Yeah, I got, like I already told you, I got a lot of stuff to watch. So I will be extremely busy. I forgot I gotta watch the Game of Thrones thing too. See, it just never ends. Never ends. Anyway, you guys know the routine. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there. Please, it's crazy in them streets. Shout out to the folks in Minnesota. Please be safe out there as well. But you know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Peace.